This man is cursed. Everyone who fights alongside him is destined to die. In the grim darkness of a failed future, an old and broken Ragna has hunted the Blood Kings across a barren wasteland, only to once again end up as the sole survivor. Now, captured by his sworn enemies, the High Order dragons debate his fate. One wants a simple execution. Another wants to devour him whole. Others suggest torture, human experiments, or eating his brain. The Claw Dragon, their strongest warrior, finds the discussion amusing. But as Ragna stands before them, helpless, all he can think is that it should have been his friend, Leo, who survived instead of him. For the first time in decades, the old man sees a glimmer of hope in his own death. But the Claw Dragon sees this hope and decides to extinguish it. "You want to die?" He sneers. "Then I refuse to grant your wish." He sentences Ragna to a fate worse than death, to live on, burned by the flames of his own hatred, tormented by his weakness, and trapped in a hell of his own making. But just as the sentence is passed, the leader of the Dragon Kings, Medea, blows the Claw Dragon's head clean off his shoulders. "I despise those who disrupt the harmony," he says gently. Medea has a different plan for the old warrior. He recognizes Ragna's weapon from a kingdom he personally destroyed long ago, a beautiful and prosperous land that he respectfully annihilated. He believed all traces of it were gone, and member of the Bloodkin. The other dragons explain that this transformation will not destroy his sense of self. It will simply change his perspective. All the hatred in his heart, the burning rage that has fueled him for a lifetime, will simply vanish. The frenzied dragon, who was once a human himself, knows this from experience. Medea believes he is not damning Ragna to hell, but saving him from it. He will plunge a sword of his own blood into Ragna's heart, and the old warrior will be reborn to fight for a new god, alongside his former enemies. Back in our present timeline, the hero's plan is in motion. Ragna recognizes the most disgusting of all the Dragon Kings is not the arrogant Claw Dragon, but the seemingly benevolent Medea. A being who can slaughter millions with a gentle smile is the true monster, and Ragna is going to hunt him. Crimson calculates that now is the perfect time to strike. The dragons have surely noticed the disturbances at the border and will have dispatched their strongest guard, the Claw Dragon, to investigate. With Medea's bodyguard gone, he is at his most vulnerable. If they succeed, it's a legendary victory. If they fail, Crimson will ensure his most valuable weapon, Ragna, escapes. Their mission takes them to the royal capital, which is now flooded with millions of refugees, all herded there under the orders of a puppet king. The moment they enter the massive crowd, Ragna, the legendary dragon slayer, doubles over and throws up. He has severe social anxiety and cannot handle being in a crowd. Crimson is dumbfounded by this ridiculous weakness, but Ragna explains that when he lived in a town before, Leo was always by his side, which made it bearable. Despite the nausea, he is determined. Even if his body is torn to shreds, the moment he sees Medea, he will strike. Crimson leaves Ragna in the care of his slime companion with strict instructions not to talk to anyone, while he investigates a disturbing anomaly. The capital should be overflowing with over 2 million refugees, but it's not. The crowds are large but manageable. The only logical answer is a horrifying one. Somewhere, out of sight, the population is being managed. Sure enough, he discovers the barrier dragon secretly disposing of a portion of the human refugees each and every day. Meanwhile, Medea decides to leave the palace and walk among the refugees to see their situation firsthand. At the same time, another of Crimson's agents, a playboy who has infiltrated the king's inner circle, is busy gathering intel. All the pieces are moving across the board. In the city square, the Puppet King displays a dragon's corpse, making a grand speech to placate the masses. Ragna knows it's a trap, but he doesn't understand the purpose. As he watches, a gentle figure passes by him in the crowd. It's Medea. They are mere feet apart. Crimson's prior warning echoes in his mind. On the off chance you run into Medea, do not, under any circumstances, engage him alone. The moment you do, this entire hunt is over. Ragna freezes. Medea stops and turns, looking at him with concern. "My, you look terribly pale," he says softly. "Are you feeling unwell?" 5 hours earlier, the girl with glasses returned to the royal palace. But what she saw shook her to the core. The citizens had all been consumed, turned into nourishment for a colossal tree that now dominated the city. Yet within the palace, she sensed a surge of spiritual energy. She knew it could only be the spirit princess. Their mission was dangerous: rescue the princess and slay one of the dragon kings. Everyone understood it was a trap, but retreat was impossible. If they didn't win, their future ended here. Only 4 upper dragons remained, but if just one king fell, then even Medea, the leader of the high dragons, would perish. Ragna swore to face the lightning dragon head-on, buying precious time for his allies, while the sun god's church promised to protect the people. Before departure, the old swordmaster sought out Ragna. After confirming his recovery, he requested a duel. Ragna agreed, but with a single strike declared victory. Even so, he admitted the old man had grown strong. Yet Ragna himself had changed too, not just stronger, but more attuned to the immense power gifted to him. He confessed this power didn't feel like his own, and it unsettled him to be praised for strength he hadn't earned. But the old man only smiled, reminding him how his courage inspired others to surpass their own limits. Perhaps one day, many would reach the same heights. Ragna remained silent but hoped for such a future. The moment came to depart. Karula activated the teleportation spell, aging rapidly as the cost for manipulating time. But with it, the Dragon Slayers gained 3 minutes where they could act freely in frozen time. "Go," Karula whispered. "Bring back victory no matter the price." At dawn, the enemy awaited. The sea dragon was stopped by the frenzy dragon, who demanded revenge for his fallen kin. The lightning dragon appeared, mocking them, while Ragna lured him away to fight alone. Overhead, new enemies descended, proving Medea had lost the power to halt time. The battlefield was chaos. Ragna soon found himself in a deserted clearing. There, Lihia lay collapsed, her body ravaged by poison. The lightning dragon sneered, giving them time to say farewell. Ragna held her close, feeling her life force slipping away. Even if he froze her body, it was too late. Her eyes fell on the silver blade beside her, the first she had forged. Tears welled as she admitted it was a failure, never able to rival the cursed sword.
はるか昔、宇宙より飛来した銀の星。すべての銀の元となった最初の位置。
If only she had one more chance, she could create a weapon worthy of Ragna. But she knew there would be no next time. Ragna's heart ached, but he would not let despair consume him. He swore to her that this sword would shine with true brilliance. Even if she could no longer see, he would make its light undeniable. For every battle they had fought, he had always felt her by his side. That bond would never fade. With determination, he stood tall. The lightning dragon charged with his ultimate strike, certain of victory. But Ragna moved faster than lightning itself, freezing the dragon in an instant and then shattering him with a single counterattack. The dragon laughed as he fell, acknowledging the truth. This was no ordinary weapon. In Ragna's hands, it was not merely a sword that drew out its wielder's strength. It was a blade that allowed its master to transcend their limits. And so, the battle pressed onward. The city burned, the skies trembled, and heroes stood on the edge of life and death. Yet, through sorrow and sacrifice, one truth remained clear. Ragna would never stop, until every last dragon was slain.
Orobo し合いだ